Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to yet another Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be taking a look at a very fast farming method for faction tokens. For those of you who don't know, the faction rally started today, and it's actually a pretty interesting event. All of the vendors are now in the tower, which means you can now go ahead and choose from the Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, or the future war called faction. This will of course give you loot access to their specific loot pools, and you'll be able to turn in these tokens that you get out in the wild when completing activities for these specific sets of armor, and of course all the gear that comes along with that. So that includes shaders and of course very cool weapons. Every single week you'll be able to choose a different faction to represent, so go ahead and choose one for this week. You're also going to get a milestone that I believe resets every single day, and there's actually a few new activities linked with this new milestone. You're going to have to go around into these lost sectors, and actually instead of killing the boss, you're going to look for these explosives and you're going to take out basically their arsenal of weapons and stuff like that. Each one of these arsenals that you shoot and destroy are actually worth 6% towards the milestone. This is very important since the milestones reset on a daily basis, and you'll be able to get 16 of them just by completing this milestone. That's almost enough for one entire level with each respective faction vendor. It only takes about 20 of these tokens to turn in for you to level up and get a package, and of course these packages contain either armor or a weapon mixed with a regular crucible or a legendary weapon drop. Getting 16 of these guaranteed every single day for just completing a milestone is not bad whatsoever, so make sure to do that as much as you can. Now, a lot of you guys out there probably like me and want to get as much loot as quickly as possible from these faction vendors, so you're probably wondering what is the easiest, and not just the easiest, what is the most efficient and best thing to do for these faction tokens? Well, I would personally recommend sticking to what we know best, and that is public heroic events. Now, for the sake of this video, me and my fire team actually skipped out on the heroic for this specific public event, and we wanted to see how many tokens we would get, and we got 4. So you get 4 for completing a regular public event, and for doing a heroic one you actually get 8. So obviously you want to do the heroics every single time you jump into one of those public events, and doing it with a fire team makes everything a lot quicker. So make sure you have a 3-stack fire team with mercilesses or Wardcliff coils, and just melt each one of the bosses for the heroic version of the public event. Now, I've actually seen lots of other methods on Twitter and YouTube, some of which in my opinion I don't think are quicker than this, and some of which are just pure exploits. Now, one in particular is an exploit where you would go into a lost sector, you would shoot those arsenal caches that I was telling you guys about, you would get your tokens, and then you would pull up your director and fly back to the same location, and everything would respawn in the same spot. Not only is this an exploit, but it is extremely boring, and it would probably make you want to blow your brains out after grinding for hours at a time, and ultimately would want to make you just quit Destiny altogether because it's just so boring. Don't do it. You're gonna just dry out, get burned very quickly, and on top of that, I don't even know if in the long run it's worth it, because public heroic events, not only are you getting those tokens very efficiently, but you get to play with friends. The actual events and the stuff you're killing is dynamic instead of shooting at a pile of weapons and watching it blow up. And then on top of all of that, you're getting constant exotic and legendary engrams from the public heroic completion. So make sure to do the public heroic events. Those things are, in my opinion, the best way to get faction tokens as quick as possible. As you can see, we got 150 of the New Monarchy tokens, and I only played for about an hour and a half, so you get an absolute crap ton of them if you're just doing the public heroic events. Now, the one good thing that Bungie implemented is that the faction vendors now will only accept 20 tokens for one level, which means out of 150 tokens that I collected, I can gain about 7.5 levels, which is actually quite dumb, and dumb in a good way, because I'll get an absolute crap ton of loot. What I plan doing is getting every single one of the loot drops for New Monarchy, and then next week I'll be able to hop over to Dead Orbit, and then finally to Future War Call, and by the time the 3rd week is over, I should be able to get every single one of the armor pieces, the shaders, and the weapons with a breeze. But that's going to do it for the video. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and have yourselves an absolute blast grinding for all of that awesome faction loot. Subscribe for more daily Destiny 2 content. Have a great day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.